Alright, we're going to talk about getting an SVG file that we designed in Inkscape over here to Sheetcam. And first thing we need to do is open up the Sheetcam. And then right here, this red area is the size of the table that we cut out here. What I'm going to do is come over here to our zoom in a little bit, and just kind of get that so it's a little larger and easier to see everything. I'm going to go a little more here. Okay, next thing we need to do is come up to File, and we need to import a drawing. And we'll click on that and find the file we want, which is right here. We'll double click that and check 1:1, drawing position. This is kind of the default setting, and that is where we are going to have it start. We'll click OK, and it brings in our name tag that we had designed in the previous video. What we need to do is get it right off of this edge here because it's so close. We'll come up to these 4 arrows where it says nesting. We'll click that, come and click on our part, and just kind of drag it up a little ways. And right there, you're done. And next, there's a little arrow with a C on it. We have Edit Contours. What we need to do with these Edit Contours is we can click on that and it turned it back to the red and the yellow. We will click on our letters, and we will hold down Control and click all of our letters, and these are all the things that we want our torch to cut on the inside of. So once we have all those selected, we will hover over one, and you can right click, and we want to move that to a new layer. Okay, so we have to enter the name, and since these are the torch is going to cut on the inside of our lines, I want to name this one Inside, so that way I know that's where I want it to cut. Then we'll hit OK, and right over here you'll see it says Inside. To make sure you selected everything you want, come over here, uncheck it, all our lettering goes away. We'll recheck that so it comes back. And next thing we're going to do is, since we only have one cut for the outside of our name tag, we are going to hover over that, just right click right away, go move to new layer, and we will label this one Outside because we want our torch to cut on this side of the line. Hit OK, and now you'll see it's all red because we've all selected it. We're going to uncheck our box there, and it's gone. We'll recheck that. So the next thing we need to do is come down to, let's see, so these are the tool cutting options. We've got jet cutting, which would be what we're using with the plasma. I've already got one preloaded in here. So we come down to operations. There is a new jet cutting operation, drilling. Okay, we want the jet cutting operation. So we'll click on that, and our window pops up right here. First thing we're going to do is our contour method, which this is going to be our cut. And you see it shows you right down here which one we're going to be cutting on. If we click outside, this is where our torch is going to cut. Where if we change that to inside, you can see it goes to the inside of the piece. Okay, and we like to cut our insides first because if we cut out our plate first and then go, the plate could shift on us, and then our lettering won't be perfectly square in there or as neat and clean as we would like it. So we're going to select inside for our contour method. We're going to come down to layer, and we want to use our inside layer. The tool is our 14 gauge steel. Feed rate is in the booklet, and that is 285 inches per minute. Okay, so we'll come in here, type 285, what it tells us. Alright, and then that looks okay. And then we've got lead-ins and lead-outs. So What these are is if our torch is going to start here, it'll actually come here so we don't get a bulge where we need it. So we'll have our lead ins, we'll put those at 0.15 just to give us a little bit more room, and our lead outs will do the same, so it's a little bit cleaner. And then we will hit OK. And now you can see kind of where all this stuff is going to go, and I will zoom in. Let's see, where's it start at? So it's going to start in these spots right here, so it's in the middle of the letter, and that way it doesn't ruin our drawing. So there's the insides that are getting cut. Next, what we want to do is come down to operations again, and we want to do our outside. So everything is going to be set the same. Instead of inside, we're going to go to outside. Make sure that it's selected there. Also change our layer to outside so it knows to cut our outside layer. And we've already set all of this other stuff. And we will click OK. And you can see here's our two options. We can actually turn those off. And you can see all of the start points for each specific piece. And if something is too small or there's a lead in that is too large and we'll get into something else, we'll have an error pop up right here in the screen, and then we have to go back in and fix some stuff. So once you got it figured out like this and it's all ready to cut with no errors, we will go to File, and we want to run Post Processor. So this Post Processor, we will save this as something different than our Inkscape SVG. So I will put, let's just nameplate. And you see it's saving it as a G code or a TAP file. So we will click Save. And post-processing, it is run, post-processing completed. Once it says that, we'll click OK, and that part is done.